What's up guys, Kimchi Chris here, and for today's video I'm going to attempt to do the vinyl tag. Now if you don't know what that is and you just clicked on this video because you follow me or stumbled across it or something like that, basically this is a series of videos that have been floating around on YouTube for the past year or so, and in the last week or two I've seen quite a few more of them popping up in my feed of some of the metal and punk vinyl collectors doing them recently. And it's basically 20 questions about your vinyl collection, your records, your music, the things that you collect. And I felt this would be the best way to really start these vinyl videos for myself. So I have the questions loaded up on my phone here, I've got the records here in front of me, and let's just get right into it. Question number 1, how many records do you own? Don't have an exact number on this. I don't have a Discogs account or anything like that for some reason. I have them all categorized in a Word document, but I don't have them numbered or anything. Now, I did count how much my shelves hold per unit and kind of just multiplied that. And I figure as far as 12 inches go, I'm somewhere around the 900 to 1,000 mark. As far as 7 inches go, probably a good, like, I don't know, 200 or so maybe. Alright, so question number 2 is a pretty simple, straightforward one. What kind of record player do you have? I have an Audio-Technica LP120 direct drive. Pretty straightforward, you're not going to break the bank getting it. I got it for $220 I believe on sale with Guitar Center, but typically you can get them for $250, $300, and it's just a really good, solid record player. There's no extra frills really or anything. It's a good record player, I'd recommend it definitely. And that's all there really is to say about that. Question number 3, how old were you when you started collecting? I've had records since I was like little, just a couple like kind of dingy Kiss records that were my dad's and they ended up in my possession. But as far as collecting and knowing that I really wanted to get into it, I'd say probably around like 18 or 19 is when I got into it. Because I started working at a record store that was kind of one of the worst jobs ever, but they had a lot of cool records and I got into it. I started buying records, mostly imports and stuff from Kiss actually, and didn't even have a record player at first, but I knew the stuff was cool, so then I got into it. Alright, question number 4. What is the oldest record you own? My oldest record here is a band that is considered legendary, and I know they are, but I'm going to be honest, I'm not the biggest fan myself, but this is probably the oldest record I have. It's Meet the Beatles from 1964. This is, you know, an old record. This is an original pressing as well, and it looks brand new like it just came from the store. I remember one of the main reasons I bought this and some other Beatles records that I got this time where they were just so nice. They were in really clean condition. You don't see records this old that look this clean usually, so I just picked a couple of them up, and I don't know, I feel every record collection, there's certain records that make sense there, even if it's not something that you're the biggest fan of, and I guess the Beatles fall into that category for myself at least. Alright, question number 5. What was the first record you ever got? Now, as I just said, I know that I ended up with some Kiss records from my dad's collection, and they were just kind of beat up versions of like Destroyer and stuff like that, but the first record that I know I purchased and knew it was a record, actually I didn't purchase it, my parents purchased it, but it was this right here, this red vinyl, still sealed, I've never opened it, copy of Kiss My Ass, the official sanctioned Kiss tribute album. Yes, they are the only band ever that would produce their own tribute record, and it's 90s-tastic. This came out in 94, and it has like Anthrax, Garth Brooks of all people, Toad the Wet Sprocket, Mighty Mighty Bosstones, those type of bands playing tribute to the hottest band in the land. And it even has a symphonic track from Yoshiki from X-Japan, so that's something kind of interesting. At the time, I just thought that was kind of a weird, you know, bonus on this record. Little did I know I'd go on to love his band and that they were a very serious metal band. And it does have the bonus track of Unholy by Die Arts, I think is how you say it. It's a German band, and it's a really heavy, cool cover that was only on the vinyl version. But yeah, this I've kept it sealed all these years. I don't usually keep my records sealed, but there's no reason to open it now. It's just kind of part of my youth, and I don't know, it's cool. I like this little hype sticker too. A limited edition exclusive History book inside. Now we all know that wasn't the history books that, you know, would cost you a good couple $100, but yeah, first record right there. Alright, question number 6. What was the first record you got with your own money? Again, I'm not sure exactly, similar to a lot of these. I mean, I wasn't keeping track of these things when I was a kid, but I do remember buying this one for $1 or so, just because I liked the movie and the soundtrack looked cool. It's something I wanted to put on my wall. The soundtrack for Rocky Horror Picture Show, I mean, this movie is awesome. The soundtrack is classic. This is one of the early ones I have. It might have been like Shout at the Devil by Motley Crue or something like that as well, but I'm pretty sure this was it. This is pretty near the beginning of me getting records and actually knowing what they were. I still think I didn't have a record player when I got this, but it looked cool, so I wanted it. Why not? Alright, question number 7. What is your favorite colored vinyl? Now this one I did cheat a little bit and I picked a 7-inch, so I decided to just pick a newer record I got that maybe isn't my favorite colored record, but it looks cool. So this one's got 2 choices. So the one I picked for the 7-inch was this Ozzy Osbourne Believer Live. Now this is just one of those kind of cash grab record store day releases that they claim is all limited and everything, but it's numbered, which is always cool, but it's numbered 4,491 out of I don't know how many, but that's not very limited for a record, as we all know as collectors, because once you break into those couple thousand units, it's not really limited anymore. But it is a cool record looks wise. It is on this polka dot vinyl here, just like Randy Rhoads' guitar, and that's just really awesome. That's the reason I had to get this. I love Randy Rhoads. Got a nice shot on the back there. The glare, I don't know if you can see with the glare, but with Randy and Ozzy and everyone. But this is definitely a cool release. Alright, and the 12-inch I'm picking is a brand new record that just came out that's really, really cool. We're picking Iron Reagan, Crossover Ministry. I love this band, love this record. It's really cool. This one's limited to 200, okay? So that's an actual limit on a record, I would say, compared to Ozzy there with his almost 5,000 units. But this one's on what they call highlighter yellow splatter, and just look at that. That is just beautiful. That is an amazing looking record. That's something you don't see too often. That's really cool. I knew I had to get this. I pre-ordered that immediately, and it got just added to my other Iron Reagan records. Love this band. And this is just a really cool looking record. I think anybody would agree regardless of your opinion on the band. Alright, question number 8. What is a discount album you own? Now, I guess with this one you could go with something that was technically a budget title or something to start with, so it wasn't that expensive. But I decided to go with one that was a really good deal when I got it. This is Nell's Band in All Life. If you're, into their type of metal, of course you know Nell's. They're one of the most talked about metal bands the last couple years, and this is my favorite record from them. Has a cool gatefold showing all the guys looking all tough and evil like they always try to look. And yeah, I got this at Hastings for like $7. And at the time, I mean, it was going for quite a bit. I don't know if it's been repressed now. This is the original Southern Lord release of it. So that's a really cool record to have. And for like $7, I guess at Hastings, that's not really the spot to sell metal, because all the other records they have over there are like, crap like the Arcade Fire and Mumford and Son and whatnot, and this was just kind of in the middle. So that was a great find for the money, I definitely have to say. Question number 9. What is your prized possession? Now this was a hard one. This was a really hard one to go with, but I decided to pick something that was rare from one of my favorite people and hard to find. It's expensive on its own, and this one's signed by the man from when I met him. We're going with Ace's Greatest Hits Live. This is a double picture disc. It's numbered as well, hand numbered. It is 192 out of 500 there. I don't know if you can really see that in the screen there, but it's a double picture disc. There's only 500 of them, like we said, and it's got some great artwork of Mr. Ace there. Got this here. We got a screen cap from the Insane video there. That's something unique. I'm not really sure why that was on there. They definitely could have got something better. They got another one of him playing his guitar here, and then right here on this side I did something that maybe nowadays I wouldn't really do, but I got him to sign the actual record there. You can see it right about there. I'm not good at pointing things out on the screen, but yeah, you can see it there. It's signed by Ace. Really cool record. I mean, technically speaking, when this came out on CD, is a pretty unessential Ace release because it's just all the live tracks from his other Greatest Hits albums, but this record's expensive. It's signed by Ace, and it's hard to get. Even he talked about how rare he thought this was when he saw it, because he didn't really recognize it. He thought it might be bootleg or something at first, but yeah, it was cool. And meeting Ace, I had a good experience. I know some people have a bad experience when they meet him, but this is awesome. This is definitely one of my most prized records. I wouldn't get rid of this for hardly any amount of money. This is a solid thing for me. Question number 10, a record by a female artist. That's a stupid question, unless there's one by a male artist as well, but that question isn't there, but I'm still going to go with it. That's what the tag is, whoever came up with it. Sexist or not, that's the question. And I do have a lot of great records from a lot of great female artists. And the one I decided to pick here was the Oath's self-titled record, The Oath by The Oath. Anyone that remembers this band, they kind of came and left really quickly. They were kind of being built up for a while as the next big thing in kind of like doom metal and Sabbath-esque type bands, and they came out and they broke up 2 weeks after this record came out. It has a nice gatefold there, and yeah, so they broke up. They went on. Lucifer, at the very least, came out of this band, the band Lucifer, not the person, or the demon, I guess. It's on a purple vinyl here, so it looks real nice. But this record's really good. I really, really like this record. I really wish this band had done a little more than just kind of put this out and leave. Okay, halfway mark. Question 11, a record by your favorite band. Well, it's no surprise to anyone that my favorite band is Kiss. And sure, I could show you like Destroyer or Alive or something like that for the 1000th time, but I decided to go with something more unique here and go with this weirdly shaped picture disc that was definitely owned by someone who smoked too many cigarettes at one point, because it's kind of yellow now. But this record is awesome. It's shaped like the tank that they were using on tour, and it's a single for Lick It Up, and it has Not for the Innocent on the B side. And you see the guys there out of makeup just looking about as silly as possible. But yeah, this is a cool record. I don't really know if it's that rare. Technically it's a 45, not a 12-inch, because the record is kind of the inside part here. I've never tried to play it. Maybe I should. I don't know. This doesn't seem like it'd be good for the record player potentially, or the record itself even. But this is a cool little collector's piece. I definitely had to pick this up whenever I saw it. Question number 12, an impulse buy. Now, that's a really hard one. As a record collector, we kind of just impulse buy a lot of things, and I think most record collectors would agree on that. But what I decided to go with here was a record that I got, and I didn't really know what it was exactly. That's kind of the definition of an impulse buy, and I was a little bit disappointed initially, but in the scheme of things, this thing, even though it's a re-release, has kind of went on to be worth some money since it's an older re-release now. And that is the self-titled record from Minor Threat. Now, this is not the discography release, and that's what I thought it was when I bought it. It has a lot less songs, of course, than that, so I was a little disappointed when I initially got it. But it's a cool record. It has went up a little bit in value. It's on this green vinyl here, and it has an insert that's pretty cool, kind of like the original one. It folds out there, has pictures of the guys and everything. But yeah, I don't know, it's good to have. Question number 13, Lucky 13, a gift. A gift, alright, a gift record. So this one I cheated. I picked a 7-inch and a 12-inch because I get cool presents sometimes from bands that I play with. These were presents given to me when I was in my old punk rock band, and they were given by 2 Asian bands. One's a Japanese band and one's a Chinese band, both located in New York, though, at the time. Actually, first one here, though, we're going to talk about is actually in Texas now, in Austin. And that first one is P-Lander Z here. This is a 7-inch split of them with the birthday suits. And look at that. It's signed by all the guys and has little interesting messages. This is when they were playing as a 4-piece, basically, as far as the musical level goes, because Pink was there as well. But signed by Yellow, Red, Green, and Blue. And P-Lander Blue even wrote, "I love your mom," because at this show, my parents actually came to it that we were playing with them to check us out, because it was such a big stage and we were opening for such a cool band, basically. And this is an awesome piece of vinyl that I'm always going to treasure more as a present, because it doesn't have a lot of value. I ended up buying another copy of it at a used record store for like $1 or $2, but this means a lot to me. This is a cool record. And for the 12-inch present, like I said, it's another Asian band. It's a Chinese band from New York called the Notorious MSG. This record, Heavy Ghetto, is awesome. This is the only hip-hop record actually on this. Kind of surprised by that, because I do like hip-hop, but they basically are a parody all-Chinese hip-hop group. Of course, their name, we all know what that's a reference to. I'm not sure the status of this band. I don't really know if they're active or not. They occasionally put videos and stuff out, but they haven't seemed to play any shows in a long time. But if any of you guys see this, you know, any of the guys in the band, man, we would love to have you guys play some shows again. This band is amazing. They're so funny and so great. This record is just perfect, if you ask me. Great comedy hip-hop here. Alright, question number 14, a most played record. Now, let's be truthful, that's going to be a Kiss record for me, but I know you guys might be getting sick of nothing but Kiss on some of these records, so let's go with something else. Now, I looked at my last film. I know that's digital plays, but I basically just looked and saw what I played the most, and I picked the thing that I had on vinyl, which was pretty high on the list, and that is Sycamore Meadows by Butch Walker here. This is an awesome record. I don't know if it's my favorite from him, but according to the plays it is, and it very well might be. This is definitely my top Butch Walker records. Has a nice gatefold here in the middle. Has a picture of him and just some stuff about the record. And this was the first thing he put out on vinyl, so he kind of went all the way and did nice inner sleeves even. And it's on red vinyl. Nothing super special about that. I think this might be 180 grams as well. It's pretty heavyweight, and it sounds great on vinyl, even though I've listened to it apparently on my computer quite a bit as well. But yeah, I love this record. Sycamore Meadows is a great place to start if you've never checked out Butch Walker. And if you have checked him out, you already know it's a great record. Question number 15, a rarity. So I'm not sure how rare this record actually is all over the world, but in America, this thing's pretty hard to get. I've honestly never seen it again in a way that I could get it. I bought it off of eBay, and it's a record by Balzac. If you've never listened to them, they are a Japanese punk band that sounds a lot like the Misfits. A whole lot. They're basically the Japanese equivalent of the Misfits. Has this awesome centerfold here. Still has its obi strip as well, which is great. If you collect Japanese records, you know that's something awesome to get. And similar to the Butch record we just looked at, it's on red vinyl. Nothing too special on that, but this is a cool record. I couldn't tell you what it's called if I tried. It's all in Japanese, but even online it's just labeled in Japanese, and I'm not even going to try to pronounce that and embarrass myself. If you've never checked them out, if that sounds interesting to you, definitely look into it. These are the type of records the Misfits should be making right now, as opposed to some of that stuff that Jerry just keeps throwing out there for whatever reason. Number 16, we're getting pretty close to the end here, guys. A rainy day record. So, collecting metal, I got a lot of records that would work with this, but I decided to go with one of the best rainy day records, and that would be Chelsea Wolfe, Apocalyptus. This is a great record. If you haven't checked out Chelsea Wolfe, don't know what rock you're living under, but she is awesome. It's kind of like metal-tinged, folky, weird kind of metal influence, but I don't really know. She's hard to categorize, and everyone agrees on that, but this record is awesome. It's drenched in reverb, and it's super sad sounding, and it's on this really awesome colored vinyl with all this splatter. This really could have been my colored vinyl choice as well, but I went with this because it really is a great record for a rainy day or a happy day to make you feel a little bit sad. It's a great record. It somehow puts me in a decent mood despite how sad it is, but I don't know. It's a great record. You should check it out if you haven't. Alright, next question, number 17, a feel-good record. This was the first thing that came to mind, something that I heard for the first time in high school, and it stuck with me always as a feel-good record. Just puts you in a good mood when you listen to it, and that would be The Donnas. The Donnas Spend the Night. This is a great, just straightforward rock and roll record. This was the record that got them into the mainstream and had their one big hit on it, Take It Off. So a lot of people know that song, a lot of people know this record. This whole record is great. It just sounds like 1977 Kiss with a female fronting the band. This band was awesome. I don't know why they went away. They just kind of stopped. Didn't really do a farewell tour, much of an announcement. That's always made me kind of sad, but maybe one day we'll get some more Donna's music. I don't know, but this record's great. Might not be my favorite Donna's record, but it works for the feel-good category in spades. All right, number 18, a nostalgic record. We're going with one of the first pieces of music I ever owned. We are going with Welcome to My Nightmare by Alice Cooper. This is a classic release. I mean, it's got so many great songs. It's got, of course, Welcome to My Nightmare, Devil's Food, The Awakening, Cold Ethel, Department of Youth. I mean, everything on here is killer. This was the first record that was considered his first solo record after he broke up with the original band, basically. And if you look closely, this one's signed by him. I didn't get signed myself, but this came in when I worked at the record store with some other stuff that was signed by him, and I bought all of it. It looked very legit to me. Number 19, a record store day purchase. So if you don't know what record store day is, it's basically a day a year that's like hipster Christmas. There's a ton of records that come out. They're all limited to that day. Some of them are less limited, some of them are more limited, whatever. But there's some cool stuff always that comes out on that day, and the record I went with was Gwar, America Must Be Destroyed. This record is awesome. This is probably my favorite Gwar record, and this release of it is awesome. It's got a dinosaur that peeks out whenever you open it. It's a 3D picture book dinosaur. You gotta love Gwar. Alright, time for the last question. Question 20, a recent purchase. So, I got this in the mail just a couple days ago, so I'd say that's pretty recent. It is the Rudiments of Mutilation by Full of Hell re-release. This is a great record. It's so good. Just some great grindy power violence, whatever you want to call it. I think it's limited to like 250 or something like that, and it comes on this awesome splatter vinyl there, see-through with just gold all over it. This is a great record, great band, and yeah, there's not much else to say about that. It's awesome. I have the original press of it, but I had to get this one as well, so yeah, there you have it. And that about does it for the record tag video. Now, thank you so much if you're seeing this right now and you actually sat through my whole video. Not sure I would have, but I say that now and I've watched quite a few of these tag videos and none of them are exactly short. Had a good time doing it, picking out some cool records to show you guys from my collection. And I don't know, I want to do some more vinyl videos. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I mean, I could do like the update videos or like do videos about some of the records I have from like certain artists and stuff. I'm never going to do a full collection video because that seems too daunting to me and just too ridiculous. But I don't know. If you guys like this video, let me know what you think about it in the comments below. In the description here, I'm going to leave a list of the questions if you want to do one of the videos yourself and you haven't seen some of the other people that have done them. And thank you so much for watching. Definitely subscribe to the channel for more upcoming content. Give it a thumbs up, and we will see you guys next time.